What's up, guys? Dustin McDangles back here with another video, and welcome back to the NHL season preview series here back in the Metropolitan Division. And in today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the Carolina Hurricanes. We'll take a look at how they finished up last season with their record. Team stats, we'll take a look at the players that have left the squad and that have been brought in. We'll then take a look at projected lines and contracts before we give you my prediction for this upcoming season. But before we do get into this episode, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're looking to hit 750 subscribers before Christmas this year, so hit that subscribe button if you guys like anything hockey related. With the NHL, we'll be doing it all season long, but without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into this episode and take a look at the Carolina Hurricanes. Having had a solid season last year, finishing the year as Metropolitan Division champions and 116 points, they made it pretty far into the playoffs, making it to the Eastern Conference second round before losing to the New York Rangers in 7 games. Finished off the year with a record of 54, 20, and 8. Couple noteworthy players throughout the season: Sebastian Aho, 81 points in 79 games played. Andrei Svechnikov with 69 points in 78 games played. Teuvo Teravainen with 65 points in 77 games played. And then on the back end, they actually had Tony DeAngelo with 51 points in 64 games played. Very solid personal stats when it comes to that. And now for team stats on your screen right now: goals for, they were ranked 9th in the league. Goals against, they were actually 1st. They had a power play of 22% and a penalty kill of 88%, which I believe led the league in penalty kill last year. So amazing team stats, and you can figure out why they were top in the division above the Rangers, Penguins, and Capitals. Just having a very solid season. Had a total of 278 goals for and only 202 against. That's a goal differential of 76. Absolutely crazy, and that's the way the team plays under coach Rob Brind'Amour. But now when it comes to players that have left the squad, a few noteworthy people: Vinny Trocheck having left the squad, as well as on the back end, Tony DeAngelo leaving for the Philadelphia Flyers. Mainstay Nino Niederreiter leaving the squad after a few seasons with the Canes, as well as Ian Cole and a short stay of Max Domi. Those are the players that have left the squad this past year, and looking forward to some players that they have brought in. Andre Cachet, bringing him in from the Toronto Maple Leafs. Max Pacioretty coming in from the Vegas Golden Knights, and unfortunately he's going to miss a large chunk of the season this upcoming year due to injury. Brent Burns coming over from the San Jose Sharks, and then Dylan Coughlin coming in as well from the Vegas Golden Knights. Those are the noteworthy players that they have brought in. But now on your screen right now are projected lines for the Carolina Hurricanes, and honestly, it is hard to find a soft spot on this team. And actually, one more player to note that they brought in was Paul Stastny, a veteran centerman there on that 4th line. But top line, you've got Teravainen, Aho, and Jarvis. Very, very stout top line, and we're going to have to see a big season from Teravainen and Aho if they want to make it far into the playoffs this year. Second line, Svechnikov, Kotkaniemi, and Nishis. Very solid second line, one of the top, I would say, in the league. And there are a few players around that you can interchange, whether it's Stahl, Kotkaniemi, Svechnikov, and Jarvis, Teravainen, and Nishis. You can interchange those guys on any lines. It depends on who has the better chemistry. Third line right now, as it stands, Cachet, Stahl, and Fost. Very solid third line. And then fourth line, Martinook, Stastny, and Stromwell. Again, you can interchange a lot of those players in and out of the different lines, but that's just starters according to this website. Now on the back end, they are extremely deep. You've got Slavin, Burns, Shea, and Pesce, and then you've got DeHaan and Coughlin. Very solid defensive line. It's going to be interesting to see because they don't really have that go-to offensive defenseman like they've had in years past, such as Dougie Hamilton, and then after him they had Tony DeAngelo come in. Is Brett Burns going to be that guy this upcoming season? We will have to wait and see. And then between the pipes, you've got Freddie Anderson and Antti Ranta. Between the pipes, that's a very solid tandem. If Anderson can stay healthy, I expect him to have a potential Vezina-type season behind the forwards and defense of the Carolina Hurricanes. When it comes to their contracts this upcoming season, there are a few players of note that they need to get deals done after this year. You got Jordan Stahl, their captain. He's coming up on a contract year this upcoming season. Jesper Fost. You've got Andre Cachet only signing a 1-year deal, as well as Paul Stastny. So a couple unrestricteds there. Again, more older type players that they need to pick and choose who they need to sign. I know Kashe is only 26, but it feels like he's been around the league forever. And then on the back end, you've got Ethan Bear, Calvin DeHaan, and Dylan Coughlin on either unrestricted or restricted deals coming up. And I'd say two of the biggest things of note are their goaltenders. They're both 33 years old. Anderson and Ranta are up this upcoming season, so they're basically playing to stay in the NHL. And some players not on your screen right now listed. You've got Pacioretty and Jake Gardner. Both are on unrestricted deals this upcoming season. Again, we'll have to wait and see what they're going to do when it comes to contracts and who they sign, who they do not sign, who's going to have big seasons. Again, it's all going to play into who they bring back after this upcoming season. But when it comes to my prediction for this upcoming season and the Carolina Hurricanes, I would say my biggest thing of note is, are they going to get the superstar scoring ability from Teravainen, Aho, Svechnikov, and Nishis? That's my big question mark for this upcoming season. Again, last year they had decent points, but nothing that you would expect a superstar to be not obtaining when it comes to that. Again, Aho, 81 points in 79 games played. He needs to be up and around that 90-95 point range, as well as Svechnikov and Teravainen, if they want to take the next step and make it to the Stanley Cup final and even potentially win it. I have question marks on the back end. Who's going to be their go-to scorer and distributor on the back end? Is it going to be Slavin? Is it going to be Burns? Is it going to be Pesce? Is it going to be Shea? We don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how Burns fits into this lineup and if he'll be able to mesh well with those top two lines of forwards. Can Kotkaniemi step up? Can Jordan Staal continue to produce at his age? Can Stasny step in and maybe produce at least 30 points for the squad? Can Jordan Staal bump it up a notch and maybe get 45 points this upcoming season? Again, there are a lot of question marks in my head when it comes to the Carolina Hurricanes. Again, they have some great name players, don't get me wrong. They're a very solid team. I expect them to be in the playoff race. But when it comes to these past couple of years and Carolina Hurricanes fans really packing the arena, PNC Arena down there in Raleigh, North Carolina, they're expecting more out of this team, and that's my biggest question mark. Can they give more? Can they take that next step and be superstars? I don't think that's going to happen this upcoming season. I think they need to blow it up a little bit. They need to get rid of someone, bring some new faces in when it comes to superstar type players. But I would say they're going to be in the hunt for the division again. They have a solid roster. Rob Brind'Amour and the way and style they play hockey is going to lend to another good season this upcoming year. I expect them to be no lower than third in the division. Again, they'll be around that 48 to 55 win range, around that 100 to 115 point range. Again, I know that's a wide range there, but if there are injuries, if players don't perform to what they are expected to do, there's a lot of pressure, I think, on these Carolina Hurricanes to perform this season and make it to the Stanley Cup, which I think might have some adverse effect on them and be a negative, but on the same hand, it could be a positive and really push them to be like, okay, we need to give more. We've been doing great these past couple of years, but we need to take that next step. And I'm sure Brind'Amour is preaching that to them, that, hey, this is our year, guys. We got a solid team. Let's go out and do it. Let's show everybody what we can do and win a Stanley Cup. And if that's the case, who knows? Maybe they're President's Trophy winners, although in the past couple of years, you don't really want to be the President's Trophy winners because you're not typically going to win the Stanley Cup, but I expect a big year out of them. But at this point, I want to hear what you Carolina Hurricanes fans have to say about this team. Who's going to be the biggest performer? Are the top dogs going to take that next step? Be 100, maybe 90 plus point getters in Aho, Teravainen, Svechnikov, and Nishis? Are they going to be those guys? Who's going to be the guy on the back end? Are the goaltenders, are they going to be the best tandem in the league? I want to hear from you guys. Is Pacioretty going to come back when he is fully healed from his Achilles injury and step into the squad like he hasn't missed a beat? I want to hear from you guys. Drop comments down below. Drop likes down below. Are the Carolina Hurricanes going to win the Stanley Cup? But that is going to be it for today's episode, guys. If you did enjoy it, be sure to drop a thumbs up on this video. If you've made it to this point in the video, be sure to hit that subscribe button. That is actually the wrap on all of our NHL preview series. We're going to be getting into my conference picks in the next couple of videos as we lead up to the start of the regular NHL season, as well as we'll do some breakdowns on top 10 players per position leading up to this upcoming season. So we've got some exciting videos coming up, so stick around for that, guys. They'll be dropping here in the next couple of days as we lead up to a live stream of the start of the regular season. So get excited for that, guys. We look to have you around. Again, hit that thumbs up video, but that's going to be it for today's episode. I hope you guys have a good one, and as always, stay dusty.